Welcome to the West Best Media. Everyone thinks power in West Africa still lives in the same places, the same capital, the same bank, the same alliance. But one country keeps exposing something uncomfortable, not with speeches, not with threats, but by forcing reaction from system that used to control everything. And that country is Burkina Faso. If you follow West Africa power shift and you're tired of noise and headlines without explanation, subscribe now. This channel is for people who want to understand how power actually works. Burkina Faso isn't the largest economy in West Africa. It doesn't control shipping lanes. It doesn't dominate global finance. Yet, most every move it makes trigger statements, panic, and emergency reaction. That contradiction is the story. And if you stay with me, you'll see why Burkina Faso isn't rewriting the power map. It's exposing how fragile the old one already was. Excuse me. Quick note before we go deeper. If this opens already makes sense to you, hit subscribe now. Most people don't hear this framing anywhere else. What the old power map looks like. For decades, power in West Africa flow or follow a predictable structure. Political, political pressure through regional organization. Financial leverage flow through external controlling banking system. Security depends on foreign partners. The rules were simple: comply quietly or faces isolation, sanction, or destabilization. Most governments learned that challenging the system came at a cost, so compliance became routine, silence became strategy. It, if this sounds familiar, tap like you have seen this system operate, even when people pretend it didn't exist. Here's what Burkina Faso did differently. Burkina Faso didn't just criticize the system, it tested it openly. Every decision on security, alliance, or sovereignty forces institutions like ECOWAS to respond. And here's the key detail most people missed. The response were slow, they were weaker, and they weren't loud than expected. That's not strength. That exposure. Let me show you. Let me show this down. If authority is real, it doesn't need to repeat statements. It doesn't need press briefing, and it doesn't need reminders. Quick check. Did you notice threats quietly turned into statements? If you caught that shift, type notice in the comment. If this explanation is clearer than what you are hearing elsewhere, share this video. Most coverage avoid explaining why reaction look the way they do. Here's where most analysis failed. People think power disappear when countries exist the whole system. It doesn't. Power relocate. Burkina Faso didn't just step away. It helped build alternative through the alliance of the Sahel states. This wasn't symbolic. This was structural, and it was structured. It was structural. Sheer security coordinations, economic alliance, internal decision making without external approval. That's the difference between protest and replacement. And replacement is far more dangerous to the old power system than protest ever was. If this reframe how you see it, how you see this, I have subscribe now. This channel connect dots most outlets avoid. This is where many people get confused. They think Burkina Faso is acting emotionally. They think it is chaos. It's not. This is calculated behavior, a system that only understands pressure. When reaction became or become inconsistent, when authorities need explaining, when silent re- replace reinforcement, the system is already weakened. If the old structure still work, it wouldn't need this much noise. And here's why every move create panic. The old system survived and predictability. Burkina Faso introduced something disruptive, and that's choice. Choice weaken leverage. Choice break pressure. Choice force authority to be earned. That's why every move create panic. Not because it's reckless, but because it is independent. If you're still watching at this point, you're the core audience. Hit like so this reaches people who actually need it. And what this signal for the West Africa is, Burkina Faso isn't trying to dominate the region. It is demonstrating a new reality. Authority is conditional. Partnership must be mutual. Sovereignty must be operational, not theorized. Once that example exists, it can't be unseen. Other countries start measuring optional quietly. Let me ask you something. Please answer honestly. If the old power map still work, would it need this many statements, this much explanation, and this much reassuring? Drop your answer in the comment. I read them. This story isn't about personality. It isn't about system under pressure. Burkina Faso didn't redraw West Africa power map. It revealed what was already broken. If this makes sense to you, watch the next video. Why the coup was only the phase one. It connected directly to everything you just heard. And if you want steady, serious African analysis, subscribe. Growth looks slow before it accelerates. If you're new here, this channel explains Africa without propaganda, panic, or speculation. Subscribe and stay informed. Thanks for watching the West Base Media. Again, my name is Never Philpotts. See you in the next video.